sitting on your couch on a hot summer night when you look out the window and notice that the sky is eerily black. Trees are also swaying in your front yard from very strong winds and it's starting to hail. You glance back at your television and notice there's a tornado warning for your area. Then suddenly you hear the tornado sirens go off. What do you do in this situation? Tornadoes can be very destructive, so it is very imperative that you seek shelter immediately in the threat of a tornado in your neighborhood. I asked my audience if they knew how many tornadoes strike the U.S. annually. One audience member answered that it was 200 per year tornadoes that strike the U.S. annually. Another audience member answered that it was 1,500. According to the National Severe Storms Laboratory's website, NOAA.gov, approximately 1,200 tornadoes strike the United States annually. I also asked the audience if they thought the basement was the safest place during a tornado. Many of the audience members answered that it was in fact the safest place during a tornado. Today I'm going to talk about what to do in case a tornado is nearby in your neighborhood. I'm going to touch base on characteristics of a tornado, how to prepare for a tornado, and where to seek shelter in a tornado depending on if you're inside or outside. I'll give a little bit of information on the life cycle and characteristics of a tornado. A tornado is a rotating column of air that extends down from a thunderstorm cloud to the ground. It's a rotating column of air that is made up of water droplets. Tornadoes would be very difficult to see if it wasn't rotating and picking up dust and debris and whatever it goes through. Tornadoes are formed out of supercells, which are very dangerous thunderstorms. They are pretty much just big thunderstorms that have a very distinct rotation to them, and they have all of the necessary ingredients, so to say, to make a tornado. According to the NOAA, only about less than 20% of supercells produce tornadoes. Another characteristic is a wall cloud. What that is pretty much a big thunderstorm cloud that is very, very low to the ground, and it has a very, very distinct rotation within it that is capable of producing a tornado. Another characteristic is rear flank downdraft. What that is it is warm air coming from the thunderstorm down the backside of the storm. Also, there will be rain that, as this comes down, the rain will wrap around the backside of the tornado, so it looks like pretty much there's a rain curtain on the southwest side of the tornado. Now that I've given a little bit of information on what a tornado is and some of the characteristics, I'll move on to how to prepare for a tornado. According to ready.gov, you would need an emergency kit in case of a tornado. In this emergency kit will be pretty much as household essentials like paper towels, food, water bottles, toilet paper, just stuff to get you by in case you're trapped in your house, in your basement or something. So I would put it in a box and put it down in the basement just in case you have to run down there. You're not going to really have time to, stop and grab anything on the way. Another way to prepare for a tornado is just to listen to your radio or your local weather forecasters on your news channel. They're going to have the most accurate information on when a storm is going to strike and if it's going to strike your neighborhood. You also should be alert to changing weather, such as if the clouds are starting to become gray or dark, if it starts hailing, because hail is one of the major indicators of a possible tornado, and like a greenish, the sky will be greenish, look very ominous, it'll be green. Also be on the lookout for large low-lying clouds. Also have knowledge of the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Tornado warning is a tornado has been spotted in your area, or there's a very high possibility that it will strike your neighborhood. A watch, on the other hand, is conditions are favorable for a tornado, but it doesn't absolutely mean that a tornado will actually happen. Now that you know how to prepare for a tornado, I'll now move on to what you do in the event of a tornado, where to seek shelter. If you're in a building, you want to go to the basement, obviously. It's the lowest level of your house. That's probably where you'll be the most safe. If that is an option, you want to be in the center or the most center part of your house that you can be. You also want to be away from windows and walls. A lot of fatalities are caused by flying debris, so you want to stay away from windows in case a tornado picks up. Like if you have a flower pot out on your deck, a tornado could pick it up and send it through a window, or could rip your deck off and start sending that through your house. You also could go under a sturdy table, and you want to cover yourself with anything you could find, like maybe a mattress or a coat or a blanket or anything, just anything to cover your head. If you're outside with no shelter, you want to go into a stationary vehicle. If you're in your car, put your seatbelt on. Anything you can find to cover your head. Or you could go to like the ditch that's noticeably lower than the road, and just be sure that you cover your head when you're down there. Do not go under an overpass. However, if that's the closest thing you can find, it would be a better option to go way into a ditch and cover your head. You never want to also try to outrun a tornado because they're very unpredictable and they could turn at any moment and come for you. You also want to watch for flying debris, like I stated previously. Let me recap what I have spoken about today. Tornadoes are very destructive, so it is imperative that you take shelter immediately in the event there's a threat of a tornado. I talked about some of the characteristics of a tornado, how to prepare for a tornado, and where to seek shelter in the event of a tornado. Many injuries are caused by flying debris, like I stated previously. Tornadoes could take cars, they could take the top of your house, so it is very, very important that you seek shelter immediately in the event of a tornado.